For decades, humanity has looked up at the sky with one dream: to build a new world on Mars. Elon Musk and his company, SpaceX, gave us hope that by 2029, humans could finally set foot on the red planet. But space exploration is never easy. Mars is incredibly far from Earth, and getting there is a long, expensive, and dangerous journey. That's exactly why Elon Musk and scientists have made a major change to their plan. The first destination is no longer Mars. It's our closest neighbor, the Moon. Working alongside NASA's Artemis program, SpaceX is preparing to make history in a way we've only seen in science fiction movies. This time, we won't just plant a flag on the Moon. We're going to build an entire city called Moon City. But how is any of this actually going to happen? The Moon is about 238,900 miles away from Earth. While a trip to Mars takes roughly 7 to 9 months, reaching the Moon takes only 3 to 4 days. The biggest hero of this ambitious mission will be SpaceX's Starship rocket. It's the largest, tallest, and most powerful rocket ever built in human history. When Starship lifts off the launch pad, its thunderous roar will shake the ground beneath it. But there's one enormous challenge in space: fuel. To reach the Moon while carrying heavy cargo, Starship has to be refueled in Earth orbit. That means one Starship will launch carrying astronauts and supplies, while another spacecraft will launch separately, rendezvous with it in orbit, and transfer fuel in space before the journey continues. After refueling, the massive spacecraft will accelerate toward the Moon at nearly 24,000 miles per hour. Once the crew reaches lunar orbit, Starship's human landing system will carefully lower them onto the Moon's rugged surface. But what happens when it's time to come home? That's where SpaceX's greatest advantage comes into play: reusability. Since the Moon's gravity is much weaker than Earth's, it takes far less fuel to lift off. The very same Starship will launch from the lunar surface and return to Earth, landing much like an airplane, so it can be prepared and reused for future missions. You're probably wondering who will actually get the chance to go to the Moon. Will ordinary people like us be able to buy a ticket? The truth is, not at first. The first people to travel there will be highly trained astronauts, scientists, and engineers. Their job will be to build the first base camp. After that will come space tourists, the world's billionaires who can afford to spend enormous amounts of money on the experience. Early tickets could cost anywhere from $50 million to $100 million per person. NASA and SpaceX are expected to invest more than $35 billion into the entire Moon City project. But Elon Musk's ultimate goal is to make space travel affordable. As lunar flights become more common, the cost could eventually fall over the next 15 to 20 years until it's comparable to taking a luxury trip around the world today. Building a city on the Moon, however, is anything but easy. There's no breathable air. Daytime temperatures can climb to around 250 degrees Fahrenheit, while nighttime temperatures can plunge to nearly minus 200 degrees Fahrenheit. On top of that, dangerous space radiation and constant micrometeorite impacts pose serious threats. So how do you build homes there? Transporting bricks, cement, and steel from Earth simply isn't practical. Instead, long before humans arrive, advanced AI-powered robots will be sent to the Moon. These robots will use a technique known as in situ resource utilization. In other words, they'll use the Moon's own dust and soil, called regolith, as construction material. Massive 3D printers will melt the regolith with powerful lasers to create huge dome-shaped habitats. These domes will be thick and strong enough to protect the people inside from radiation and meteorite impacts. Once Moon City is complete, life inside it could feel like something straight out of a Hollywood movie. The Moon's gravity is only 1/6 of Earth's. That means if you weigh 132 pounds on Earth, you'll feel like you weigh only about 22 pounds on the Moon. A small jump could send you floating several feet into the air, Even walking would feel like bouncing across a giant trampoline. But staying alive requires food, and Earth can't keep sending fresh supplies every day. That's why Moon City will have enormous hydroponic farms. These farms won't need soil at all. Using only water, nutrients, and artificial purple LED lights, they'll grow fresh vegetables, fruits, and grains right on the moon. The most essential resource of all is water. And fortunately, NASA has already discovered millions of tons of ice inside permanently shadowed craters near the moon's south pole. That's why the first Moon City is planned for that region. Advanced robots and mining equipment will dig up the ice and melt it into clean drinking water. But the science doesn't stop there. Water molecules can be split into oxygen and hydrogen. The oxygen will provide breathable air for the people living there, while the hydrogen can be used as rocket fuel. For electricity, giant solar arrays will be installed on elevated areas that receive sunlight almost continuously. How will people living on the moon stay connected with Earth? Will there be internet? The answer is absolutely yes. Elon Musk's Starlink satellite network isn't expected to stop at Earth. SpaceX plans to deploy satellites into lunar orbit as well. That means the people living in Moon City could enjoy high-speed internet. Imagine sitting on the moon while making a video call to your family back on Earth, or uploading 4K YouTube videos and Instagram reels directly from the lunar surface. Because of the enormous distance between Earth and the moon, every message and voice transmission will experience about a 1.3-second delay. When you say hello, people on Earth will hear it just over a second later. But even that would represent an extraordinary leap in space communication.
Lunar Rovers
To travel around Moon City and explore the lunar surface, specially designed electric vehicles will be used. Since gasoline and diesel engines can't operate without oxygen, specially built lunar rovers, possibly inspired by vehicles like Tesla's Cybertruck, could become the primary mode of transportation. These vehicles would run entirely on solar energy and easily navigate the moon's rough terrain. And what about entertainment? Low gravity would make completely new sports possible. Games that could never exist on Earth. If you played baseball or soccer on the moon, even a gentle hit could send the ball soaring hundreds of feet through the air. People would be able to perform incredible aerial moves that would look like superhero stunts back on Earth. As exciting as all of this sounds, it's also deeply terrifying. The greatest challenge for the people living in Moon City won't be the machines, will be their own minds. When astronauts look out through the windows of their protected habitat, they'll see Earth as a beautiful blue sphere glowing in the darkness. Realizing they're nearly 240,000 miles away from their home, their forests, their rivers, and the rest of humanity on a silent, lifeless world could take a serious psychological toll. If a major emergency happened, help from Earth would take at least 3 days to arrive. Yet those very challenges are exactly what will prepare humanity for the even longer and more dangerous journey to Mars. The civilization built on the moon won't simply be another city. It will be humanity's first great step into the universe. Once we learn how to live there, use its water, and survive its harsh environment, the very same technologies, the very same Starship rockets, and the very same determination will carry us to Mars. Elon Musk and SpaceX aren't just building rockets. They're transforming humanity into a multi-planetary species.
इस वीडियो को लाइक और अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर जरूर करें ताकि उनका भी दिमाग हिल जाए, क्योंकि कभी-कभी ऐसे साइंस एक्सपेरिमेंट्स हमें हमारी असली रियलिटी का एहसास कराते हैं।